Hey guys, it's Cho, and I'm back with another video. Have you ever gotten your favorite beauty product, maybe it's a serum, and you start to use it and it smells a little bit different, but you don't think anything of it, and then after continued use, you start to notice that it's breaking you out? But this can't be. This is your favorite skincare product. This is a holy grail product that you've been using for years. Well, actually, believe it, you've been the victim of a product reformulation. I
I'm
just
so
feel so
sorry. I
deceived.
know, but
Honestly, I
we're
just
in
feel
this. We're
so
all
deceived.
deceived.
So during the month of March, you guys saw me produce a lot of content surrounding Regimen Lab and their newest reformulation of the cream barrier supporting moisturizer. Now, I won't bore you with all the details of those sponsored content, but it gave me the inspiration to do today's video in a broader sense, talking about reformulations. We'll be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of cosmetic reformulations. But first, why do brands even reformulate their skincare products to begin with? Well, obviously, if the skincare concerns of customers aren't being met from the use of this particular product, brands have one of two things they can do. One, they can either create an entirely new product to meet those needs, or two, they can reformulate a product that they still think can meet those needs. Here are a couple different reasons why a brand may reformulate a product. I'll go over 4 different reasons in no particular order. Number 1, responding to customer feedback. This is probably the most obvious reason why a brand might reformulate something. Maybe a customer noticed that the sensorial experience was not giving what it was supposed to give, maybe through the smell or the texture or just the way it feels. Customers are very open about sharing their constructive criticism, and some brands welcome that with open arms, hence the reformulations. Number 2, changing regulations or ingredient availability. Sometimes ingredients are disallowed or regulation happens where ingredients are banned for better or for worse. But regardless, a brand has to respond to that. And so if they can't access an ingredient for whatever reason, or it's illegal to use that ingredient, then they're forced to do a reformulation. Number 3, sometimes it just boils down to cost cutting. Listen, you have to remember that these are businesses that we're talking about, and they have to make a profit to remain in business. And so sometimes it's just a matter of maybe this preservative system is a lot cheaper than the one that we've been using, and we want to squeeze out some more profit. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's not up for me to debate. It's the reality. Brands have to save money sometimes, and sometimes they're making these reformulations in order to cut costs and increase their bottom line. 4, innovation and improvement. Sometimes you have to realize that this is an ever-evolving industry, the cosmetic world. There's always new ingredients, there's always new technology, there's always new research being shown of different ingredient interactions. And so companies have to stay competitive by being ahead of the cutting edge research coming out. Hence why they want to reformulate their products to make them better and more efficacious. So these are just a couple different reasons why a brand might reformulate their product. It's not an exhaustive list by any means. However, whether a brand is transparent about their reasons, I think speaks volumes about the brand itself. I always prefer brands that are very open about their reformulations. I think that the consumers deserve that respect and honesty. Now, let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to give you one example from each category, but the list can go on and on. Let's start with the good. Let's start on the positive foot here. Let's talk about Regimen Lab. Now, you guys know I'm a fanboy of Regimen Lab, okay? Regimen Lab can do no wrong in my eyes, okay? I love all their products, and I had such a joy being a part of their creative team of influencers to promote the reformulation of cream. Now, this video is not sponsored by them, but I implore you to take a look at the description box of this video. I'll link some of the content I did surrounding the release of cream. It was a phenomenal product before, but they responded to customer feedback and really improved upon the texture and sensorial experience. Not only that, they took a really good opportunity to add some new technology. They added a new soothing complex that has been very great for my skin at least. So take a look at that. I think they do a great job in general at reformulating their products. They're very transparent about it. They're very open about the reasons why they're reformulating, and they really make the consumer a part of that process, which is so critical. So for any company out there, look at Regimen Lab as a great example on how to reformulate a skincare product. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is super bad, but this part is very strange. Let me look at my notes to make sure I'm getting it right because it's that strange. Crave Beauty is selling a pilot batch of their Makeup Rewind cleanser. Apparently there's no difference other than the texture. The pilot version is a more fluid formulation, but they weren't very satisfied with that. It's just really strange to me that they would green light manufacturing of a product they weren't happy with. That just seems like a very egregious mistake by someone on the executive team, and it makes them look very incompetent, if I must be quite frank. I'm trying to not be shady, but it looks incompetent because now they're trying to pull this off as some type of like, we don't want to waste our products. So they're actually selling this pilot version at a very discounted rate alongside with the newer updated version. So it's just a very strange situation by Crave Beauty to do this. I don't think that they really care about not being wasteful. I think they just want to recoup the costs of their mistake off the backs of their consumers. I don't blame them per se, but I really do blame them for giving the green light to that manufacturing to begin with. I don't know. Am I being too harsh with Crave Beauty in this regard? Or are you really happy about this whole, like, we're gonna sell both two different cleansers, but they're kind of the same? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Don't get fucking weird!
I'm not. I'm just asking a question.
Don't get weird!
I'm not, Tokyo. I'm not.
Now, for the ugly, this is something that I'm very disappointed in. For the OG fans of my channel and my social media content, you will know that I used to be the biggest fan of Misha. Misha could do no wrong. Misha was that girl when it came to the essences, okay? I still, to this day, love the way my skin looked when I was using their products on a regular basis. But they ended up doing one too many reformulations. It all started with the Time Revolution, which I think is arguably their iconic line of essences. And apparently they did the reformulation and it was so bad. Customers were breaking out, they were becoming irritated. The girls were really going through the gigs from this reformulation. So much to the point where a social media campaign started to tell Misha to send it back in the mail.
Send it back in the mail.
Make it to where it used to be in its original formulation. So I don't know, I stopped buying that one because it was just like they wrecked the formulation. But not only that, they tend to reformulate their products as often as I change my underwear. It's like every time I go to maybe purchase an essence from them, they've reformulated it. And so it almost feels like I'm buying a new product every single time that I buy an essence from them. And I like a little bit of consistency. It also doesn't help that they're not always super transparent transparent about these reformulations. So again, you could get one of these essences that you've been buying forever and not realize that they've changed the preservative system, or they've added fragrance or used a different type of fragrance that's more irritating. And so that's just not good. And now I don't really buy the brand as often as I would like to, because I just can't trust them. Does that make sense? Have you had experiences like this where you tried a product that you used to get and now they've wrecked the formulation? It's really disheartening and so disappointing. I don't mean to drag Crave Beauty and Misha, like, whatever, but these are just some examples that came up to me. But that's the good, that's the bad, and that's the ugly, and those are my opinions. Let me know in the comment section, have you ever tried a skincare product that you used to love that you now don't like because of reformulations? Let me know in the comment section below, please. Like this video, because if you don't, you're gonna have bad luck for 100 years, okay? I promise you. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.